Welcome back to another episode of Crappy Movie Saturday. Can you believe that I've actually been doing this, for 4 weeks now? And I've actually been putting it out every Saturday. Well, I got a movie for you guys this time, and you might like it. Well, I was digging around in Netflix looking for shitty movies, as I do every Saturday. And I actually watched this, not today, being Saturday, but I watched this Thursday. No. Wednesday. And I wanted to do a review on it because it was so bad that it was scary bad. Let me just say that much. It's a movie called I Am the Ripper. 2004. It's a B movie if there ever was one, and I'd say, for people who don't know what B movies are, they're low-budget films. This was worse than a low-budget film. It looked like a home movie. Except really shitty. It's basically about these, I guess 10 to 20 friends are hanging out having a party, and death shows up and starts killing them one by one and doesn't let them escape. And it's a horror movie. And when I start going into the details of this movie, you'll see why it's so bad. So death kills everyone except for one guy. And the effects are shitty as all hell. The cameraman seems like he's on speed, because he's moving around the camera so fast and he's shooting people's faces. It's so in your face, and you can't see any of the action that's going on because it's moving so much. And so there's one guy left, and Death challenges him to a duel. So the guy says, okay, and he starts watching porn and stuff, and then he shoots himself in the head, and then he comes back to life, because apparently all of his friends turned into Death's angels because they made deals with him to kill their loved ones in order to become his henchmen, the Deaths. And so they're trying to get him to kill his girlfriend, and basically it just goes on from there really stupid, and it turns into an action movie, a really shitty one. And it's so confusing because random people just keep popping up for them to fight, and then he kills all of his friends, and then he kills Death, and that's basically the entire movie. And then Death has an internal battle with himself, and this movie, what can I say? I already said about the camera. That was probably my main issue. If you have ever seen Dragon Ball Z or one of those Japanese animes where they're fighting super fast and they're punching and kicking each other incredibly fast, it's like that, except imagine one of those scenes except with a cameraman shaking the camera around like this the whole time, because you can't see anything. The effects that they try and use are pathetic. The camera's shitty. It looks worse than a home video camera. I could get my phone that I'm recording this on has a better 10,000 times better camera than they had for this shit. The audio is complete ass. They basically use the same screams every time, and it's so loud, shrieking, it just pierces your ears because they can't control the fucking sound. The soundtrack is the redeeming quality for this movie, because they have a lot of high octane death metal. But then, when they have a live death metal show going on, the audio is so bad you can't even hear what the guy's singing about. Not that you could hear in the first place, but you can barely hear what he's talking about, or even screaming. You can't hear that. The acting, I have to say, is pretty good. In a B-movie standpoint of acting, yeah, it was another redeeming quality for this movie, because it stood out. When the people were scared, they looked scared. when people were sad, they looked sad. When the people were supposed to be going crazy, which was basically every scene, then they would do it. But the only problem is these people didn't act like normal people. Like, I'll give you an example. There was this one part where this girl pissed off this dude, so he hit her, and then some guy, one of the friends, hands him a dumbbell, like one of those big weights, and he punches her in the face with it, and then everyone starts clapping, or at least that one Asian guy that handed it to him starts clapping, goes, except I can't do it because I need to hold the camera, so he was doing it with both hands, and it was just so fucking stupid. I'm like, that would never happen. And the movie is completely pointless. I will say that the plot was pretty cool. Being Death's angels, not being able to die. But they just shot around so much to so many different things. They killed off everyone within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then the rest of the time they just had random fight scenes that were completely stupid. The guns that they used were obviously toys, and they used the same shotgun every single time, which was painted silver plastic. And it was just so bad. You could tell that the guns they were using that were like airsoft, because they were rattling when they were moving around. Like, I'm dead serious. They were rattling. And I had to pause it like 20 minutes in, and I had to reanalyze my entire life. Because I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? Who could have made something as shitty as this and gotten away with it? Apparently the people that made I Am the Ripper did that. I'm pretty sure it's a foreign movie, so it had subtitles. I'm pretty sure they were French. I don't know. It wasn't dubbed, but it had English subtitles. So that was another hard part, because everyone was talking so goddamn fast. And I'm pretty sure they were trying to make it like an anime, because they were just like, oh, you want to fight? Hoo-cha! And then they do really crappy fighting that you couldn't see at all. And I think if they actually would have slowed down the fucking cameraman and told him to go to rehab before he filmed this movie, it would probably be better than I'm giving it credit for. Because the action scenes, had I been able to see them, were probably cool. Hopefully. But you can't call this movie a horror movie and then turn it into an action halfway through. Cabin in the Woods was a horror comedy, but they had both genres in it the whole time. You can't just go from a horror and then fucking give up on it 20 minutes in and then just turn it to a whole nother genre. You can't do that. It's just so stupid. This movie gets a 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Because I couldn't watch that again. Well, that's it for my review. If you want to watch it, go ahead. I'd strongly suggest it if you really like shitty movies and if you like to laugh at how bad people make movies, because they suck at it. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you enjoy. Somebody's probably going to leave a dislike because they are stupid people. I don't know why people dislike these videos. Oh well. Share with your friends because you want me to make better videos, don't you? Yes, you do. So I will start putting out more videos if I get more viewers. So if you want to tell your friends about me and be like, hey, there's this really cool, funny guy on the internet. His name's Happy Gamer. He plays video games and does movie reviews because he has nothing better to do with his life because he's a lonely motherfucker. Then tell them, and I would love to get more viewers. Now, how are we going to end this? Like this. Goodbye.